Didn't West Point just change the motto?
Oh gosh, I'd heard that, and I remember getting angry about it, and I don't remember what it was. What did they change?
And yeah, well, it was it. I think I didn't go to West Point. I don't know I don't remember the motto, but it seemed pretty benign as far as politics go. But it was changed into some kind of long-winded mission statement type
Yeah,
thing.
well,
I don't know.
we'll all be doing internet searches after this to find out what it was. But I remember that about a year ago or two. That yeah,
Well, speaking of West Point, though, a friend of mine, Jeff Evans, wrote the book "Climbing Through Storms," and he not a service member at all, but a speaker, coach, and mountain guide. Uh, he wrote about VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, oh shit, complexity, and ambiguity. And so VUCA is something taught at West Point and something that leaders need to become familiar with, comfortable with. Is this something that you learned in the service, something you use on a day-to-day basis?
I hadn't heard that before, but it makes total sense. Yeah, it makes sense. The volatility, geez, Louise, we see that all the time, right? And I think that the adaptability, the ability to overcome these obstacles is key, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we love our acronyms. And I think VUCA, becoming familiar with, comfortable with VUCA leads to resilience. And if nothing else, be a good leader. You've got to be resilient.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Well, I tell you what, I've been really enjoying this, and I would love to continue longer, but I tell you what, Larry, I'm really glad that we connected. It's been a long time since I haven't created a podcast to get a hold of you. So thank you for being me on the show. Before we wrap up, though, I want to get into the final segment of the show, and I call it Countdown to Impact. And it's 3, 2, 1. Things that have had an impact in your life. 3 books, 2 quotes, 1 person.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see here. 3 books. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, I think, is a really powerful one. For those who don't know, this is a guy who was a medical doctor at a psychiatric ward in a hospital prior to becoming a concentration camp prisoner during World War II. And how do you find meaning in your life in spite of being in a concentration camp, right? Why do some people give up and other people fight on? So that's one. Atomic Habits kind of comes to mind right away. I think that's a really powerful book. I think is it Clear? John Clear? Does that sound right? I think that's James Clear. Thank you. And then what would a third one be? A third one, let me think. Kind of referred to it a little bit earlier. It's by Ryan Holiday. It's his book on the Stoics. What is the Daily Stoic?
Well, at least you got about 7 of them now. The obstacle is the way?
The Daily Stoic, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, because that has 300, it's got a passage each day from people like, Marcus Aurelius and Seneca and a variety of other folks. I think that those 3 would help a lot with people. All right, what was the next one? 2 quotes. Well, the one quote I kind of mentioned earlier is, choose the hard right over the easy wrong. That's one of my missions, because crying out loud, you could cook the books to make your financial statements look good. That's the easy thing to do. The hard thing to do is to go to your investors and say, hey, we've really blown it for the last 6 months, right? To lie to your bride That would be an easy thing to do in the short term. Hey, I'm really struggling here. We need to have a really hard conversation. That's the hard right. That's the long term. The other one is a quote by George Patton that I remind myself of daily, and I've got this in my car and on my refrigerator and also on my mirror in my bathroom that says that a good plan violently executed today is better than a perfect plan next week. A good plan violently executed today is better than a perfect plan next week, right? Because so many of us, we just delay, we delay, we delay. We're waiting for all the sun and the stars and the moon to be aligned in perfect order before we take. There is no perfect plan, right? In the military, we say no plan survives contact with the enemy, right?